All right, we are with Ray Barker this morning from the North Park Theater right over on Hurdle Avenue, North Buffalo. Welcome to the show.
And thank you. Pleasure to be with you.
Okay, so if people haven't seen any of the films yet, many of them are still in theaters or even on DVD and Blu-ray, so you're going to tell us what people should go see this weekend to prepare for Sunday night show. Let's start with American Hustle.
American Hustle is one of the top 3 frontrunners for Best Picture. It's a gritty 1970s ambiance piece directed by David O. Russell. It's my favorite film of last year.
Okay, and it's up for which awards?
It's up for Best Picture, and the director's up for Best Director, and there's some Best Acting nominations from that picture as well.
So in total, American Hustle is up for 10 nominations. So let's move on to another movie that is also up for 10 nominations. That is Gravity. A lot of buzz about this just based on how sort of visually amazing it was.
Yeah, it's a Mexican director, Alfonso Cuarón, and he's won some awards already. He won a BAFTA for Best Director. Tremendous feat of technical ability here in this film. Hundreds of hours went into setting up the shots for making the special effects work with the narrative of the movie. An incredible feat of technical movie making.
And what about the narrative? Just real quick, if you can give us a very brief description of what this movie is about.
Basically, you have a shuttle in outer space, and there's an explosion, and an astronaut played by Sandra Bullock is cut adrift, and it's about her kind of facing her own mortality and kind of the loneliness of outer space.
And for the first 2 films we just discussed, American Hustle, Gravity, each up for 10 nominations. Do you think either of them will walk away with any of those awards?
I think the favorite to win Best Picture has got to be 12 Years a Slave. Hollywood loves historical period picks, and the Academy uses a weighted voting system. If no film has an overall majority on the first ballot, they weight in preferences from choices 2 and 3. And I think in the end, that'll make 12 Years a Slave the winner.
And we're going to get to that in just 1 second. What is our
next one's Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, wonderful film with Leonardo DiCaprio, directed by Martin Scorsese. Tremendous film. In fact, I think the most interesting race of the night is the Best Actor category, where Matthew McConaughey is clearly the favorite, but Hollywood tends to vote for a body of work, and I wouldn't be surprised if Leo pulls off the upset win.
Really?
That's right.
The Academy is famous for snubbing him.
They're famous for snubbing him, but I think there's too much a body of work at this time, and he has a chance. I'm not guaranteeing it, but he has a chance to pull off an upset. Now, Matthew McConaughey, really tough, gritty picture, Dallas Buyers Club, about a man who is helping those who are dying of AIDS.
Now, Wolf of Wall Street, though, there's a little controversy because it is a little bit of a vulgar movie, a lot of people are saying, correct?
It tries to show Wall Street warts and all, and part of the power of some of these stockbrokers is they're going to take advantage of that power, and that means a lifestyle that involves drugs and a lot of illicit other activities like prostitution. So I think the film's very realistic about that.
All right, we want to move on to a movie that you just mentioned that history buffs are going to love. That's 12 Years a Slave. I have to say, I just saw this recently. It's a very powerful movie.
It is a compelling story. Solomon Northup was a man who lived in upstate New York. He gets tricked into slavery, loses his liberty, and has to come to terms with that loss of liberty. And I think it's a film about identity. It's about character. It's a deeply moving American film, ironically directed by a British director, Steve McQueen.
And you think this is going to walk away with Best Picture, you're saying?
I think it or Gravity are the top 2 favorites for that award, but I think it's going to win in the end because of that weighted voting.
And the breakout star of that film is Lupita Nyong'o. She's fabulous on the red carpet.
She is amazing on the red carpet. She was wearing an incredible dress to the BAFTAs. Ralph Lauren,
so far, yeah.
Yes. And she was nervous, actually, on set initially because she hadn't even finished film school. She was still at Yale when Michael Fassbender said, "You are my peer." And she said that made the complete difference for her. And then she just kind of, relaxed. And look at her today. She's nominated for Best Actress.
I feel like you graduated from Yale with an acting degree, and now she's nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
And I also want to point out, I think you could be our film expert and a fashion consultant for the red carpet right there. Look at that.
Yeah, we didn't tell you you'd have to analyze fashion today. But let's go back to that Matthew McConaughey film. He appeared in Wolf of Wall Street in a bit part, but he's nominated for Dallas Buyers Club. What is this all about?
This is about a man who's got prejudices. He's basically a redneck, and he discovers that he's dying of AIDS, and he has to come face to face with others who are dying of AIDS, and he ends up creating a scheme to go to Mexico to get drugs to help those who are in desperate need. And I think it changes the way he sees human beings.
A very interesting story with Dallas Buyer Club. It seemed like it was the movie that was never really going to be made, correct?
That's right. I think its momentum comes from screeners that were sent out and all the buzz about Matthew McConaughey. He lost a lot of weight for the film. You may even notice in Wolf of Wall Street that weight loss is very evident on screen. And it was just a powerful performance that pulled people in. Let's not forget Jared Leto either, who's nominated for Best Supporting Actor, who plays a transgendered prostitute named Rayon. Devastatingly good performance.
And our last movie, we're going to talk about another movie with a brilliant powerhouse performance. That is Blue Jasmine. Most people talking about Cate Blanchett in this movie.
Cate Blanchett is my favorite actress working in the world today. I think she's a lock to win Best Actress. She's a genuine chameleon from Australia. She can play any role, any accent. And this character is a very self-absorbed character, and she loses everything. She loses all of her material wealth, and she has to cope with that. It's just a breathtaking performance. Wonderful job.
How do you think Amy Adams in American Hustle stacks up to her, to Cate?
It's a tremendous performance and a tremendous movie, but I just don't think anyone's going to catch Cate this year. It's too good. I had the pleasure of seeing Cate live, actually, in New York City when she did the Sydney Theater's version of Streetcar Named Desire, and it was like being emotionally punched in the gut. She is just a tremendous stage presence, trained in real theater, Shakespearean theater, and her range on screen is just tremendous.
All right, Ray Barker, great opinions for us. Thank you for getting us all ready to watch the show Sunday night. We know it's a big week for North Park Theater, and we're going to learn more about that coming up next week on the show.
Really exciting. It was great to be with you, Lauren and Matt.
All right, we know you have to go teach a college class, so get to class, Professor Barker. Let's go over to Emily Lenahan now for our first .com check of the morning. Hi, Em.